And when I tell you guys, I cried. I cried because hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Beauty Told. It's your girl Britt, and today, guys, this is going to be part of a series I like to call the Healing Series. So I think it's very important, especially as we enter into May, or by the time this video uploads, it should be May. But this is just a great time mentally to just get ourselves in check, emotionally get ourselves in check, and just overall, just a nice cleanse and detox. And what better way to do it than to heal, than to heal. Now, I'm not sure how I have this set up yet. I don't know if I have my girl Lex episode first and then this one, or if I'm gonna have this one and then my girl Alexis on the next one. But either way it goes, this is going to be part of a series that is going to be part of healing. So a great juicy topic, but it's going to be split up into a couple of components because healing, as we know, guys, it does take a while. It's not something that's instantaneously. So today, without further ado, we are going to have a great topic. It is story time, you guys, and I'm not going to lie. I debated with this one for a while. This one, I'm going to try to tell this story without crying. For those who know that I can be very emotional at times, but this is just something where I've debated with this because I just felt like an idiot. I felt like a fool. And everything that I have given you guys in previous episodes, I've been really just quick on my feet in regards to being able to spot some different, red flags and warnings. But this one definitely caught me off guard. But this is story time nonetheless. And I want you guys to be able to learn if just one person can be able to be inspired and be able to change a certain situation in life that's not working, then I know that my story told is a story well told on Beauty Told. Okay. And of course, near and dear to me is my faith journal, keeping me on topic, keeping me on subject, making sure that I hit those key components that I want you guys to be able to grasp from this episode. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, like I said, this may be an emotional one. So I do have my tissues nearby just in case. God, it's already starting. What the heck? Let me get myself together. So, anywho, my topic today is enchanted love. And when it comes to enchanted love, guys, it is, I thought I found the one. I thought I found the one. So let's get it from the beginning, y'all. Let's do it from the beginning. So I was at a networking event. I was at a networking event. For those who know by now, not only do I have Beauty Told, which is my baby, my precious love and joy, but I am also having the honor of being a co-host on the Pull Up Experience podcast as well. So if you guys have not already, make sure you tap in, you tune in, and you pull up on us. And I was at a networking event for the Pull Up Experience, and I met someone that was very familiar. I had seen his face before, and again, for sake of identity, let's just say that his name will be Lenny. And so I met Lenny at this networking event, looked familiar, did an interview with him and everything, and grabbed his contact information afterwards because we wanted to be able to take just the little snippet interview we were able to do at the event and really take it and expound on it, where he has his own one-on-one interview with us at a later time. So took his contact information down. Mind you, when I first got to see this beautiful man, very handsome, very articulate, very intelligent, very driven. It just so many positive attributes of what us beauties would be looking for in a man. But nonetheless, I had to keep my professional face on, keep my professionalism at its best. So didn't go past that particular line. Now, mind you, you guys, that was a Friday night. What I did not expect is that we would take some of who we interviewed with and we would actually start throwing them in on some dates that we normally record, but adding an extra slot. So that was Friday night when I met him. Sunday, we do the actual interview. And yeah, from there, it was a great interview, by the way. So, got to learn a little bit more about Lenny's journey, about, how he came to be what he is, and just so many fascinating and interesting facts about him. It was an overall great day. So at the end of that particular day slash evening, by the time we finished up, you know, he had something for me, and in the midst of having something for me, had kind of threw in there a little, if you could use another friend, feel free to hit me up and blah blah blah. So I'm like, oh, okay, okay. That's all I needed to know. I just wanted to make sure that the man was single and available, because your girl out here single as a dollar bill out here. And what I got to find out from interviewing him is that he was single as well. So cool, boom. So yeah, later on that evening, because I gave it some time, beauties, you can't be too thirsty out here. Okay. So when it comes to shooting your shot or, connecting them dots, just take a little minute. You ain't got to, rush into it. Take a little second. Let them ponder a little bit. Let them wonder if you even gonna reach out. So let some hours go by. I had to give my kids something to eat anyways. And then so I had, threw it in there. And when I tell y'all, the text was so, I don't know how to flirt. I'll just let y'all know that. I don't know how to flirt. I never knew how to flirt. Lord only knows I may leave this earth and never know how to flirt. Who knows? But I just know I suck at it. Okay. So, anyways, when I sent this particular text message to Lenny, very general. Hey, it was nice meeting you. Great interviewing with you. Definitely want to stay connected with you. Just very general, simplistic. I didn't want to go too far with it. I didn't want to come off too thirsty or too desperate, because I'm not. Because the crazy thing about this, guys, is that I wasn't looking for anybody when this all transpired the way that it transpired. I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking. You guys will not catch me on any dating apps, and if you do, let your girl know. But I am okay with meeting who God has for me when that time arises. But I'm also okay with just being in my single season. So just throwing that out there. So anywho, we connected, via me sending that text message. He hit me up a little bit later and responded. And I basically told him to lock in the number, and he said, I already locked it in a long time ago. Okay. And then from there, we started like texting back and forth, and we had decided that, hey, let's have a conversation. Let's have a real conversation, outside of text messaging. When I tell you guys, it was one of the best conversations that I've ever had with a guy. When I tell you guys, it was one thing to have interviewed Lenny, but it was another thing to be able to connect on so many levels, from having similar childhoods to having similar experiences as divorcees to, parenting to entrepreneurship to, you know, education and aspirations, goals, so many things. When I tell you guys that the more I got to know Lenny and got to really get connected with him on a deeper level, the more I realized, oh my gosh, like this man checks every single box, every box, y'all, without me giving the game plan, without me giving the blueprint. I did not once say what are you looking for a guy? And I go blah, 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 and telling you all of what I'm looking for, so you can be able to, all right, cool, got it, and I'm going to start executing. No, I didn't give him anything, guys, and he was able to still check every single last one of my boxes. The reason why this is so important is because I've never, ever met someone that checks every last one of my boxes. Never. I have like 5, non-negotiables that I wrote in my faith journal, keeping it, top secret. And when I tell you that some guys may have been able to hit 3 out of 5, some have been able to do like 2 out of 5. I think the closest maybe 4 out of 5. I've never, ever, ever in my life had someone hit every last one of my boxes. Not once. So this was just mind blowing. And to help kind of put it more into perspective, I'm an 80s baby, if you guys didn't know. So I grew up watching Girlfriends. Girlfriends is one of my favorite shows of all times. And there was a situation where Joan had met Brock. And I hope that you guys can kind of relate or maybe, go through YouTube and find this out. Joan had met Brock. And that was like her enchanted love. Everything happened so boom, 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 but it just felt like a fairy tale dream until, they found out that they had differences when it came to family. Okay, so mine was similar. It was an enchanted love with you guys. When I tell you guys that I just instantly was hooked because this was something out of my normal. This was something that I was not used to. This was something where it's like, God, you answer my prayer? Like this soon? Really? I thought I was gonna have to be, single for, 5, 10 years before I finally found my person. So for me to find him, and he was everything I could have asked for and more. Guys, I was on cloud 1,000. Forget cloud 9. I was on 1,000. I was all up in the air. Okay. And so, um, let's see. So we go on a date, complete gentleman, from us just being able to link up so that way we can be able to ride together to the place, to be able to, it was a movie date. So something very simple. It does not take a lot for my gents out there. It don't take a lot. It's just the thought, you know what I mean? Because when I went to go see him earlier, we had our date on a Wednesday. Um, when we were in just talking, I came over to, get a quick hug from him one night. And we were talking about, how excited we were for our date that we had planned, via over conversation. He was like, oh, you know what? Well, I don't think about it. Let me just go ahead and buy them tickets right now. And literally, while I am sitting there, he is buying the tickets. Boom, boom, boom. So it's just, wow, the initiative of it. You know what I mean? For me, and it was at a place that I had never been but wanted to go. It was a movie theater that I had been wanting to go to, one of the newer ones here in the city, and I finally get the opportunity to go, and it's for a date, so great. So anyways, fast forward, we had a great time, great date, complete gentleman. Afterwards, we decided to kind of like chill at this place and just chill out, talk a little bit more, watch another movie. We was watching the Medea movie. And just kind of just relaxing each other's arms. It was just the perfect way to end the night. And guys, I know this was so one of the things I told y'all. This was quite fast because I know y'all probably thinking like, girl, how you end up at that man's house? And timeline wise, met him on Friday. Sunday, y'all, connect and vibe. Had a couple conversations. By Wednesday, you on a date. Boom, that's a quick little boom, 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 transition. But when I tell you guys that everything just seemed so right from the very beginning, and then again, I just felt like I've known him forever, although it was less than a week. I just felt like I knew him forever. Now, y'all, it gets a little better because, yeah, if y'all think I'm moving fast, wait till you hear the rest. Okay, your girl. So that was Wednesday with the date. Thursday we talk and we mind you, our text messages have just really just took off. We went from just a casual chit chat to hey babe to hey boo, I miss you so much. I miss you too. Da 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 da. Like all the little cutesy things. Him saying, you're my you're my everything and blah blah blah. And yes, now looking back on it on hindsight, it was love bombing. I didn't realize it then, but I realize it now. And the reason why I was easily able to fall for it is because he checked all my boxes. Okay? Checked all of them. There wasn't one that was missed. In fact, not only did he check all my boxes, but exceeded my expectations of those non-negotiables. That's what really had me all guards down, open heart, open mind, open and acceptable to whatever it was that was going to be, which this is my husband. At this point, I'm telling God, God, thank you for blessing me with my husband, my man. You know what I'm saying? At this point, there's nothing nobody can tell me different. This is my husband. This is my forever partner. This is my purpose partner. This is it. This is it for me. So mind y'all, Friday comes, he invites me over so we can just kind of chill and having like a Netflix and chill again. And when I tell y'all, he listened to my love language, and he had flowers, he had candles, he had y'all, if y'all don't know me, my kryptonite is cookies. This is why I can't get no 2-pack going up in here, because I keep eating cookies. Yeah, my cookies. And it was beautiful because not only was it those three simple things, because again, my love language is gifts, no matter how big, no matter how small. But it was the sentimental, it was the sentiment of the candles. There were 7 candles there. And it didn't dawn on me. I was wondering why he had 7 candles, but I'm just like, oh, he just wanted to be a little extra. I can't be mad about that. But when he actually told me, he's like, do you know why I have 7 candles here? I'm like, well, no, other than maybe you just wanted to make sure that I could see the beautiful arrangement that you made for me. He's like, it's because it's been 7 days since I've met you. And I wanted to, solidify that with meaning. And oh my God, y'all, could have fell on the floor. I could have fell on the floor. This man. Oh my goodness. And I don't think I have to really go into too much detail of what ended up happening later. Yes, it was a great time. It was an enjoyable time. It was a wonderful time. And this is where I was very conflicted, because I had already previously told the Lord that I was going to abstain from sex until I met my husband. But this is where I decided that the roles were going to reverse, and I was going to basically play God, because I'm up here telling God, like, you know what, thank you for blessing me with my husband. And I know we haven't, like, made it official as far as, husband and wife. But, since I know that this is who I'm supposed to be with, you know, there should be no harm in us going, that extra mile and, doing the do, there's nothing wrong with that, because this is my person. That was, yeah. So we'll backtrack as far as, the y'all learn from my mistakes, okay? The do's and don'ts, because that was a big definite no. I ain't God. I never want to be God, by the way. But this was me telling God, like, oh, you hang tight, you sit back, I got this. And that's where I went completely wrong. And that's where everything kind of just, went wrong after a while. So that was great. We even, he had surprised me that morning. It had made me breakfast. Like, it was just the most beautiful thing, because he really put a lot of thought into everything. It wasn't just any breakfast, you guys. I have a certain type of pancake I like. And the fact that he picked it up in just regular conversation with him and took it and executed on it like that, it was mind blowing. I never had a guy that was so intensively listening to me. So again, for my gents out there, just intently listen to the woman. You know what I mean? I don't want to take all of his, attributes, because now I know it was just a front. But just intensively listening to us, we will give you quite a bit of information from us, where we don't have to seem so mysterious. We don't have to seem like, what can I do to make her happy? We pretty much tell you, you know what I'm saying? It's just up to you if you're actually going to listen and take it and run with it. So anywho, guys, so that was Friday into Saturday. So mind you, by this time it's been a week, over a week now, and everything's going great. We're texting back and forth. We're steadily talking. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I can't wait to spend my so now, more future faking, more love bombing, whatever. Then there comes where he's getting ready for this event, and I knew when we met that he told me he had a lot going on that was going to be upcoming. But the communication was not clear of how that was going to affect our routine, or our just keeping in contact with one another. Because mind you, before I know it, we're going from, texting back and forth to I'm texting and now I'm not hearing from you for like 6 and 7 hours. And I get that you're working, I get that you have events, but again, you couldn't take 2 seconds to do a like or a love or something that lets me know that, I am acknowledged, what I say matters. So I started to pick up on that, and I had, I've grown, guys, because I used to let that get to me, and I used to be like, fine, I'm gonna give you the same energy. And to a certain degree, I did. You text, and I'm away a couple hours too, because at this point, like, that I think that it's just entirely wrong for you to do that to me. I'm just saying. But what also ended up happening is that after a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to keep bottling this up inside of me and letting it, come out at a later time and it comes out all totally wrong. I'm just going to let him know how I feel. So I remember that I had said, hey, we need to talk. Okay. So by Wednesday, we were talking, and he let me go first. I explained how I felt, then he explained how he felt, and it was just so crazy how we were able to have the most mature conversation I have ever had in my life. When I tell you, there was no over talking each other, there was no belittling each other, there was no arguing, there was no talking above regular level. Like everything just went smoothly. He heard me out, I heard him out, and then we came to a commonality of, okay, I'm gonna make the necessary changes so that doesn't happen again. Same with me. Great. Mind blowing, y'all. Again, like never have I experienced such a high maturity level when it came to talking. So I'm just like, now I'm back in awe again. Now I'm back at, cloud 1000 again. It's like, oh my gosh, like we had our first disagreement, but it didn't really feel like a disagreement because we were able to have just like a civilized conversation and get past it. Great. Okay, so a couple days pass, and again, the same changed behavior started coming back up again of lack of contact, thing hitting me up, on the late night for like a 5-minute conversation, more so just kind of him talking and not really us getting really, really able to get much out other than how was your day? Oh, my day was busy, da 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 da. It was kind of once I flipped it on him, he just kind of like went rambling. So Lenny was just in his own little hot little world, and I'm just like, what the heck? What about your girl? And so again, couple of days of this go past, and I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta let him know once again that hey, I get that you're busy. I'm busy too. Guys, mind you, I have quite a bit on my plate. This is why I was not actively looking for anybody. I have a full-time job. I am a full-time, single momming it out here. I am on a podcast as a co-host, twice a week for several hours. I have my own podcast, my own baby that I am making sure to keep regularly, routinely uploading videos and recording and getting guests and editing. I do all. I'm a one-woman show when it comes to my beauty told. And on top of that, like still just trying to have time to hang out with family and friends, and you know what I mean. So my time is limited too. So it's not like I was expecting a whole lot of his time, but like I said, it just went from like this much of your time to now I'm getting like about that much. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. I don't care what you have going on. You make time for who is important to you. That is what I've learned to be true these past couple years, to be honest with you guys, including myself. Because if I'm really rocking with you and feeling you, baby, I'm gonna make time for you. There was some times where beauty toe kind of got put on the back burner, so I could be able to spend quality time with my man, my man, my man. So you do make time for who really is important. So, anywho, guys, I once again realized that there's change of behavior. We're going back to the same old thing that we had the discussion about. So, I'm like, okay, let me once again talk to him. So, I reach out to him via text. Hours upon hours upon hours, guys. This time, I think it's like 8 hours before he finally responds. Hey, sorry, I'm just so busy. You're gonna have to send it as a voice message, or put it in a text message, and I'll get to it when I get to it. Um, okay. That was weird. Like you couldn't even take a bathroom break to be able to hear me out. Like really? Late night before you go to bed so we could talk? Really? So at this point, I'm feeling very unimportant, very unappreciated, and I'm just feeling like the bottom of the totem pole for real. So okay, so after I got out of my feelings, I had sent a voice message. And mind y'all, this was a couple days before his big event was going to take place. It was on a Sunday, his big event. I had already, prior to that, I had bought, tickets because I didn't want him giving me no handouts, whatever. I really wanted to be that supportive girlfriend and be there for him, right? So I've been bought my tickets. Not only my ticket, but I bought one where me and my girlfriend could go. That way I'm not going by myself. I knew he was going to be busy with his event. So I didn't want to be kind of just awkwardly there with nobody really to talk to or interact with. So whatever. So he He got my voice message, but he never responded, guys. He didn't respond. And I'm just like, other than, okay, like basically, like I'm not quite understanding. That's I think that was what the text message was like. Okay, I'm not quite understanding what you're trying to say. Which when I told y'all I did a 5 minute I've been a 5 minute convo on that voice message. You hear me? I was in on it, okay? And for you not to understand it, how do you not understand? When I'm telling you how I feel, and I gave examples of why I feel the way I feel. So whatever. We really had limited contact between when I sent that voice message explaining how I felt to the big event on Sunday. And things were so awkward because I still went because I paid my money. And I paid my money twice. Okay? Because I made sure my girlfriend had a ticket. So I wasn't about to miss it because I just spent my hard-earned money. So I'm gonna go. But this was also for me, this was gonna be the beginning of the end. This was gonna be closure for me because you're not about to sit up here. I'm not about to just go from top spot to last place. I'm not about to do it. I'm never ever about to be nobody's option. That's one thing I vowed that I would never do again after, what happened and transpired with me and my now ex-husband. I'm never about to play second to nobody ever again. Not doing it because I know my value and I know my worth. Beauties out there, know your value, know your worth. Know when it's time to walk away. As painful as it may be, you have to do it for you. Peace instead of pieces. Trust me. Trust your girl when I tell you. It's a freeing in that. It's a liberation that you just don't even know until you finally decide to say enough is enough. And that be that. So, anyways, seeing him at the event, finally he had acknowledged me. I knew he had seen me the whole time as he went back and forth, but whatever. So he finally acknowledged me. Um, I was I I have a petty side to me, but I keep petty Brittany like locked away for real, like down, 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 baby. So, I gave him a hug and everything. Congrats, it's a great event. Glad I got to come. You have a great day, have a great time, whatever. And I just left it casual and cute. Okay? Casual and cute. Period. Later on that night, he calls me. Later on that night, he calls me. And we have a conversation. And we have a conversation for quite some time. And when it comes down to it, his thing was timing of me wanting to talk to him. It could have waited till after his event. I will acknowledge and take accountability when I'm wrong. It probably could have waited. I'm not gonna lie, but gents, y'all know how we are sometimes as women. We emotional. So hey, I was in my feelings and I didn't want it to spiral out of control. I wanted to get it out and get it out now so that way that way I'm not acting funny in case that do kind of like spark out, kind of come out. I wanted to be just real and upfront and honest, period. I didn't want to let no more time. Shoot, tomorrow ain't promised, so I had to let you know right then and there. But anyways, I probably could have waited. But at the end, he basically came up with his own reasoning of different things that he saw in me that he felt were, kind of like I guess red flags, but when he really got to explain them, I don't see them as red flags. I even asked different guys that I'm cool with, and they're like, "Well, no, that's not really a red flag." Just because you want more clarity on something. I remember he had texted me one time and said, "Hey, things are going really well. I don't really want to put my business out there on social media. We don't really have to make this relationship public or anything like that. Let's just keep it between us." Cool. When I first read the text message, cool. That's cool. But then when I read more into it, it's like, but is it though? Because are you doing it for the right reasoning? So that was text message. So I just had to find out verbally. So I'm not taking the text out of context. That was what I had, asked him in conversation. And when I tell y'all, he completely kind of like just shut down in a way, it made me feel like this little. And when I tell y'all, like from then on, I'm like, I don't even know if I really want to address or can feel comfortable addressing any issues or problems that I may have because of the way he reacted. It was just so out of character for him. And it really made me feel some type of way. And I really just felt like I was walking on eggshells from then on of expressing myself the way I openly was able to with him. So, anyways, that Sunday, that was one of the things he had brought up or whatever. And at the end, guys, this was the kicker for me. So at the end, I'm like, so what all are you saying? Because to me, the way you're saying that you want to just vibe and chill and see where things go and da 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 da, it sounds to me like you're looking for a friends with benefits. And mind y'all, I vowed, and you guys know that from previous episodes, I vowed that I'm not putting myself in that type of situation again. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm better than that. And so in so many words, he basically was saying, like, I mean, yeah, like I'm not ready. I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm not totally flipped the script on me, y'all. You were weeks ago saying like I was your person, I was your future, I was your everything. Like we locked in and da da da. And now you don't know if you want a relationship. Like what? So I again I kept it casual and cute. I said, you know what? I appreciate you being transparent with me, open and honest with me. I couldn't ask for better when it comes to our communication skills. Phenomenal. I said, but what I am going to say is that unfortunately, that is not a place in my life where I'm at. And I am intentionally dating with the focus of becoming married to my lifelong partner. Second time around, but the last time around. I said, I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but blessings and success in your life. But that's where I'm at with it. I'm going to treasure what we had, this moment that we had. My job was a whole month, girl. Girls and boys. It was a whole month. This went very quickly. Again, it was an enchanted love for me because of the fact that he had met everything I was looking for in the one partner. And he basically, was like, "Oh, you're that type of person. You're an extremist. So that's where you're at. Then okay, whatever." And he basically got on the phone with me. And when I tell you guys, I cried. I cried because the hopes and the dreams that I had that we were going to be together forever were crushed in that moment. It was when I realized that it wasn't going to be what I thought. And I think for a lot of us, beauties out there, this is where it becomes very tough. This is when you tussle with the thought of, did I make a mistake? Was I wrong? Did I blow this? Did I escalate this out of control? Like, what could I have done differently? I had some time to really reflect. Um, Again, it was like a roller coaster, guys, because I was on cloud 1,000. It was like a dead man's drop to just drop down to below zero, and now you got to figure out a way to come back up. And healing, what I want to explain, it takes time, especially depending on how much you kind of invested into it, how much you really saw a future with this person. I think the devastation for me, in fact, I know the devastation for me was that I thought I was done. I thought I found my person, checked all of my boxes. This was such a relief, no longer having to deal with the dating scene because we know how crazy and nasty it is out here, guys. And so for me, it was just like, wow, like, it's not going to be that. But I will say that I'm proud of myself because I stood on business and I did not settle for less than what I was worth. I did not settle for the friends with benefits. I did not settle for us vibing and chilling and let's just see where it goes. I've heard that before. I know what that leads to. That leads to more heartache. That leads to more pain because all you're doing is stringing me along at this point. And what really is going to come from that on a positive matter? So you demote me, but yet you want me to still continue to stay roped into it? No, it's not going to happen. So, guys, I'm still in the healing process. I'm going to be real with y'all because that was the devastation blow I have never experienced in all of my life. I know I've been married before, but that one was different because it was built on toxicity, and I thought that the toxicity would change just because we said I do. So that's totally different. That was me being young, me being dumb, me being, this is my first, love, at that time, and I didn't know any better. I'm older now. I'm now 35 years old, and I'm ready to settle down with the one. And I thought that I found him, and this was different, and this is how it just became so crushing for me. But all in all, guys, there were some things, and I wanted to make sure I wrote these down so I wouldn't forget. But there were some things that I want you guys to be able to grab from today's episode, when it comes to everything, is that the warning signs that I ignored, and I'm sure you guys probably been able to pick up thus far into the video, but I just want to recap, was how quickly it moved. Again, in 1 month, it went from love bombing and future faking to let's be friends with benefits. Let's just be FWBs. Okay. So in 1 month, how quickly we said I love you to each other. We said I love you to each other within 7 days. 7 days, we said I love you to each other. And I wholeheartedly, to this day, I love him. Okay, I do. But just because you love a person does not mean that you are going to tolerate the disrespect. You're not going to tolerate less than. You're not going to settle for anything other than what you're worth. So at the end of the day, although I love him, I will never ever be someone's option, and I would never ever be demoted and cause myself that type of pain and confusion and wonder. And no. Beauties, we have to do better. I realized how quickly we became intimate. So this is a great way for me to kind of just plug in there, guys, that please, 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 beauties and gents, let's get to know each other better before we even go to that part, okay? For me, guys, I do want to put it on camera so I can keep myself accountable and y'all can keep me accountable as well. I am choosing to abstain from you know what, from the do until I say I do. So that is not, for anybody other than for me and the spiritual journey that I am on. I am choosing to keep my legs closed and my ears and mind and heart open still to love. But we are going to be intimate on different levels, but not that level. Okay. So I just want to throw that out there. And then how quickly I just kind of fell for the love bombing and everything like that. So just realizing that with love, you have to take risks. With love, you have to have an open mind and open heart. But it does not mean that you have to play dumb to it. It does not mean you have to fall for anything. It does not mean that you have to be, you know, susceptible to anything. You can still control the narrative of what happens. Okay. So what I learned from this experience is to take things slow. Take it as slow as you need to. It does not have to go fast paced. Rushing for what? I mean, I don't care if you're 35 or if you're 65. Take your time and get to know this person. Really vet them out and really just be able to spend that quality time without, having what in the mix. So that way you can do it with a clear mind and a clear conscience. Um, Again, just making sure that we are keeping God first throughout. Again, I told you guys how I basically played myself by trying to play God and trying to be my own illustrator and writer of this story, and it went completely wrong, completely left, and it left me heartbroken and devastated. And that's why I had to really take accountability, look at myself in the mirror and say, Brittany, you are majority of the reason why you're going through this heartache and pain, because you did things totally wrong, totally out of God's will and way. And you expected God to still bless your mess? No, boo. This is where you have to, take on the consequences of your actions. But this time, take the loss of the relationship and make it into a lesson. And that lesson is the blessing that I can be able to give you guys in this episode. So nothing was done in vain. I was embarrassed to come to you guys and tell this episode because of everything that I've done prior to kind of, redirect you guys in the right way and help learn from my mistakes. But we all are steadily learning and growing and making mistakes. It is the importance of just being able to recognize where you were wrong, make the changes, and not do them again. Don't do them again. It's that simple. Don't do them again. So that's where I'm at. And did I have a fourth one? Oh, and that this taught me a great lesson, guys, that although it did not work out with me and Lenny, what it taught me, and I think this is what can bring joy in the midst of sorrow, not happiness, this is what brings me joy in the midst of sorrow, is the fact that for me to have met somebody that can check every last one of my boxes and then some, it lets me know that it's possible that I can still find the one. Here I was prior to him meeting men that met 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 5, whatever the case may be. And I finally met a guy that meets 5 out of 5. But because I decided to rush the situation, I feel like that's where things just kind of just went out of control. Because I would have been able to recognize the mask that was being worn. I would have been able to recognize the love bombing and the future faking. And just if I had taken my time, I would have been able to see these things fade off and not felt so guilty afterwards that I had given a part of me that I can't get back. You know what I mean? That intimacy that we shared. Um, it connected me so much more emotionally. I think that's what makes this healing a little bit harder than what I've experienced prior. But it lets me know that my perfect guy is out there and is going to be able to check so much of what I'm looking for. And he's not looking for us to be able to go to the bedroom. He is going to be one that really is going to be in sync with what I want. And that's what's going to make for a beautiful fairy tale and a beautiful happily ever after. So, you guys, this is what I have for you today. This was story time. I hope that this story really resonated with you, really maybe opened your eyes for some of my beauties and gents out there that may be in similar situations, to really be able to just take your time, slow down, hear from God, make sure God's the center of this, and that it can blossom and grow into something so beautiful that it can be a testimony for others at a later time to let them know that it can happen for you too. So I still love love. It did not, crush that dream to the point of no return. I am still very much happy to meet my person when God sees fit. I'm excited about my journey of abstinence until that time comes. And my single season, I'm going to embrace it until the right guy comes my way. And again, we're able to just better each other. So I'm looking forward to it. If you guys enjoyed this story time, again, please make sure you subscribe. And I really truly appreciate everybody who is subscribing, who is liking, who is sharing, who is commenting. Throw in the comment section, throw in some little hearts. Y'all know how to do with my heart with the glittery, sparkly, how to hit it down there so I know you guys heard me, you feel me. And for the ones that is rocking with your girl each and every episode, I love you guys so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And until next time, of course, as always, let's make a change.